So this is the third video in your series of videos for finding the equations of lines. In the first video, we found the equation of a line given a slope and a point. In the second video, we built up to finding the equation of a line when you're given 2 points. So you have to find the slope and then use one of the points to find the equation of the line. And in this third video, you're going to find the equation of a line, and they're going to give you a point, but the slope is going to be derived from a line that's either parallel or perpendicular to your given line. So reading this question, it says write an equation of a line passing through the point. So they gave you the point, -8, 3. That's your x, y. And then it says that you're perpendicular to the line 2x minus 3y equals 10. To find the equation of a line, you need slope and you need a point. So to get the slope of our line, we have to find the slope of this line. To find the slope of a line, you can either use 2 points and use the slope formula, or you can put your equation in y equals mx plus b. So we're going to subtract 2x. We'll end up with -3y equals -2x plus 10. And then you're going to divide every term by -3. You end up with an equation of a line of y equals 2/3 x minus 10/3. Now, the only thing we cared about from this line was the slope. The slope of this line is 2/3. Our line is perpendicular, so we're going to take the negative, so whatever sign this is, take the opposite sign, and then reciprocal, so we're going to flip the fraction. So now we're finding the equation of a line given a slope and a point. So now you can either use method 1 or method 2. Now this question says in slope-intercept form, so method 1 is a great method to use. So I'm going to, as always, do it both ways. Method 1. So method 1 is using y equals mx plus b, plugging in your y value, your slope, and your x value. And then you're having to solve for b. So in this case, you've got -8 divided by 2 is -4. You end up with 3 equals 12 plus b. Then you're going to subtract 12 and you get -9 equals b. So using method 1, really slick way of doing this question, you end up with y equals -3/2 x minus 9. If you like the good old workhorse, that is method 2. It works no matter what form you want your answer in, and it's always the same amount of work. Method 2 is using the slope formula. You're going to plug in your slope as -3/2. You're going to have y, x, so you're going to do -3 minus -8, and then you bring your bottoms up. So you'd end up with -3 times x plus 8 and +2 times y minus 3. And again, you could put the negative on the top or the bottom, it wouldn't matter, it'll all work out. Then we distribute -3x minus 24 equals 2y minus 6. And then it says to put it in slope-intercept form. So you're going to solve for y. So I'm going to add 6. I get -3x minus 18 is equal to 2y. And then I'm going to divide everything by 2. And I end up with -3/2 x minus 9. The nice thing about doing it method 2 is that when you solve it, it should come out with the slope as your mx plus b, whereas this one you're putting it in, so you're just assuming you did it right. But don't forget, you could always take the point that you know is on the line, you could plug it into your final answer as x and y, and then see if it satisfies the equation. All right, moving on. The last trick, which is objective 5, I know out of order, but it kind of breaks the flow. So when you're finding the equation of a line, we've always done method 1, method 2, but now we're going to have equations of lines that are horizontal or vertical. So a horizontal line, don't forget, looks like this. It has a slope of 0 and it passes through your y-axis, not your x-axis. So it'll have an equation y equals something. So if your y is b, then it would have the equation y equals b. A vertical line looks like this. It passes through your x-axis, so it's going to have an equation x equals something. So if it passes through the point AB, it would be x equals a. So the question in your homework or on your quiz or your test will look something like this. Write an equation of the line passing through the point 2, -1 that satisfies the given condition. Okay. So whenever I see these ones where I know that it's going to have an undefined slope, or it's parallel, or it's perpendicular, the first thing I'm going to do is draw my point. And you could do that with every question if you want to draw them. But this is my point, 2, -1. And then the condition, it says that it has an undefined slope. That would make it a vertical line. And then there's 2 other ways that they could reframe this question. They could say, write an equation of a line passing through point 2, -1 that satisfies the given condition. It has an undefined slope. Or they could say it's parallel to the y-axis, or they could say it's perpendicular to the x-axis. All 3 of those would be different ways of asking the same question. But the moral of the story is we want to find the equation of this vertical line. This vertical line passes through the x-axis at the point 2. So the equation of this line is x equals 2. I don't do any work. I don't do a method 1 or a method 2 for these. I just think about them. So anytime you know that you're getting a vertical or horizontal line, draw your point that you pass through and then see what would be the equation of that line. You could use method 1 or method 2, but it becomes more complicated. So I'm not even going to show it. I'm just going to say this is the way that you should do it. So then the second one, okay, same thing. It's going to pass through that point, 2, -1. But this time the line has a slope of 0. Horizontal. This could also be framed as parallel to the x-axis or perpendicular to the y-axis. These would all be the same type of question. But again, we're passing through the y-axis this time instead of the x-axis. And it's passing through at this point -1. So the equation of this line would be y equals -1. All right, good luck with 2.3 part 2.